welcome to GPTV on Tuesday the 7th of May. My name's Philip Kingston.
And I'm Gary Peer.
And Gary, as this goes to air, I'm no longer in the country.
You are to the country? Yeah. You're having a good time at the moment in Bartley? What's the weather like over there?
Do you know what? One of these days we'll do a live cross to me sitting by the pool in my Speedos, and we'll call it the X-rated version of GPTV.
I don't think so. We're going to do that, Phil.
That would be pretty ugly.
I think we're going to do that. Look, we've just had an interview, Philip, haven't we, in here? Firstly, I don't know where to start. So excited. We're in an incredible house, had a great weekend, and we've met the most wonderful person, the number one, well, we think she's number one, her jumper is number one, Juice is number one, the number one player for the Melbourne Football Club, and we're talking about the AFLW Melbourne Football Club, Philip, which is Tegan Cunningham, and what a wonderful lady she is.
So, viewers, we're going to splice a few parts of that interview into this GPTV.
Exactly.
And then we will have the full episode available at the end of Thursday's property edition.
Well, should we show a little bit now?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. Well, how good is it to be here with Tegan Cunningham from the Melbourne Football Club? Welcome, Tegan. Great to have you on board. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, guys.
So can we just get a bit of background to understand?
Yep.
So you get into football. It's been going for how long, the Australia?
It's been 3 years, the league started.
Okay, and you've been in it for 2?
2 years,
And do you get to, how do you get to play for Melbourne?
So it was actually funny, I was playing basketball at the time, and Melbourne's list manager, Todd Patterson, was at my basketball game, and then he sent me a message after the game saying, do you have any interest in playing footy? And I have an older brother, Michael, who naturally, I think growing up threw a football at me every chance he got, so I kind of knew how to kick and handball. I understood the game from watching, but never had played myself. So my first AFL game was literally the first AFLW game, round 1, 2017.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So I think she's a great lady. Yeah. Well, you would have to agree. She
was sparkling. She's and
fantastic.
Such a natural person.
Natural person. We didn't rehearse anything. It was just one take, and she's just a wonderful person.
If she is anything like the rest of the league,
well, how good!
What a sparkling, bubbling league it would be.
And what an ambassador. So, well, of course, we've asked her everything. Philip's done his best to embarrass her. We've been inappropriate. We've done everything stupid you could. But it's the
fun. PC. It's the non-PC.
Politically incorrect interview. But if you want to watch it, have a look on Thursday, because we're going to run the whole thing there after our very short introduction to the properties that are coming up. So Tegan Cunningham, a recent purchaser of ours.
So Gary, so much has happened in the last week.
Oh, yeah.
I've got to tell you that I have never been more excited about our business and our real estate career in a long time.
Yeah, you've left
There's so much going on, and there's been so much talk about the property market being in the
election.
But we made a call at our auction on Sunday in Garrell Street, where unbeknownst to you,
made an announcement.
You were standing there.
You made an announcement on behalf of all of us that haven't been discussed.
I said at the auction in Garrell Street, knowing that you were standing there beside me, I said, ladies and gentlemen, I have an important real estate public announcement to make.
Yes, that we have decided.
And poor Gary is going, oh my goodness, what's he about to say? Anyway, I made the declaration on Sunday in front of a crowd of about 150 people at Garrell Street that, ladies and gentlemen, I am officially calling the bottom of the real estate market. I genuinely believe, as evidenced by the number of auctions that I'm doing with competitive bidding, with not just one bidder, Gary, not 2, but 3, 4 and 5 bidders. I've called the bottom of this real estate market. I'm not saying how long it will track along at the plateau of the bottom for, but when a market comes off, it goes down until it finds its base before it sits there before going back up. I'm calling it now.
Fair enough. Do I have to agree with you?
Well, do you disagree with me?
Yeah, I do. I do disagree.
Because a healthy debate, Gary, is not uncommon.
I know that, and I like the way you all tensed up. You said, okay, but then you all tensed up at the same time. I like that.
Tegan's brought out my animal fighting spirit.
She has, hasn't she? Fiery issues. I think the bottom's actually behind us. And I know we're probably saying the same thing, but,
So you're just disagreeing. You're just disagreeing with me for the sake of disagreeing.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
So really what you're saying is you completely agree with me, but you'd like to put a Gary spin on it. So it was your idea, not mine.
No, because I think it could be misinterpreted, Phil. What I think is that the market's already on its way back up. That's what I think.
So you're seeing prices rise already, are you?
Well, what happened on the weekend?
Well, good point.
On the weekend, some of those property prices.
Pay you the big bucks, Gary.
Some of those property prices have gone. I mean, we had some incredibly competitive auction. We've seen this over the last 2 or 3 weeks, haven't we, Phil? We've had 3 and 4 bidders. We had again a number of bidders. Leor in Payne Street had many bidders. We had many bidders in Elmhurst. We had many bidders in Garrell. We've had a really good weekend.
So here's an interesting stat. Whilst the price is undisclosed, Gary, I'm not going to talk about the property because it has been undisclosed. Well, I can't say which one because it's undisclosed.
So the price is undisclosed. The property's undisclosed.
Why do I have to carry
everything's
this?
undisclosed?
Every week I have to carry this show. I'm the one that does the research, does the homework. You come along and bumble your way through it. So I'm not going to talk about a property, but I'm not going to talk about this property's address.
I know the one you're talking
about.
But
it's a recent sale that was sold in 2015.
Yes, it was. Okay.
Sold for $1,600,000 in 2015.
Yep.
So we've just resold it in the last number of weeks.
Recently.
Where we sold it for 15% more than what the person had paid for it in 2015. And technically, viewers, just to deconstruct that a little bit, it was brand new in 2015. It's been well looked after, but it's not fresh and brand new as it was 4 years ago. So there is an indication, viewers, in real time, something that was bought towards the peak of the market that has now just been resold at a profit, not a loss.
So it sort of went like this. It went up, and then it went up, and then it went down, and then went up again. And there's a property.
Technical.
Yeah, that's it. And I've got to say that
this is technical now.
And talking about that, there's been a property that was just sold also by our firm, and we'll also have it undisclosed. And there was an offer on the table, you know about this, in December 2017.
Yes.
That was 30% higher than what it just sold for very recently. So that's a real, interesting sort of, if you had a stat and graph here, if we're a little bit more technical, we could actually show that sort of...
You might have to graph that one because you completely lost me. But one thing that will not be lost on you viewers is the towers that we're about to put up, because
let's put them up then,
yet again we've smashed it out of the marketplace.
What was the industry average?
The industry average was 58%, Gary. We've come in at 80%.
A lot better.
And viewers, as we take those towers down, there is no question right across Australia, the auction clearance rate is increasing. Article in Monday's Financial Review about even the negativity of economic journalists, and they tend to be negative.
Yes, that sells papers,
naughty, negative economic commentators. Even the Financial Review now is starting to publish articles about how they think the market is now on the improve.
It looks to be that way, Phil.
I said at the auction, sorry Gary, to cut you off, I said at the auction at Garrell Street that 2019 will be the window that people look back on saying should have, would have, could have bought.
I agree with that.
And there'll be some people that will say I was the genius that bought in 2019. I still think there's a buyer's opportunity around to buy at a discount.
And it's interesting, I spoke to the buyer at Elmhurst, and both those prices undisclosed, but the buyer said, I've been looking for a while, we waited, and you know what, we want to jump in now because we don't think prices are going to go down, and even if they do, how are we going to buy a house? And that's a problem. You can't find a house. In the good suburbs, people will say, price down, fine, we just won't sell. And then you can say, well, I'm going to get a bargain, but nothing gets sold.
Interesting at Elmhurst, Gary, 5 people bidding. Now, viewers, one of the strongest determinators for us about a market's health is the number of bidders per property.
Determinator,
I'm not sure it is. Probably not, but I think the viewers who are quite cerebral, Gary, would have got the intention of my words.
You can justify your vocabulary.
But think about this: the health of a market. We can sell a property with one buyer. And is that really determining market activity and strength? Possibly not. But when you have 2, 3, 4, 5 bidders, that really does show us that buyers are returning. And one of the reasons that buyers are returning, Gary, is because vendors have now moderated their expectations. So we've now got this meeting of buyers and sellers. Gary, to use another highbrow term, we've found the equilibrium in the marketplace.
You like that one. It's good Scrabble word, that. Phil, let's move on to some of the results, because Thomas Street, by the way, you left the meeting yesterday, had a meeting to go to, the sales meeting, but we started going through the sales, and the first 2 properties we sold both belonged to real estate agents, Philip, and we are the agent's agent and continue to be so. I always feel good about that.
We don't highlight that enough. In fact, what we should do, Gary, is hire out the MCG and just invite previous agents that have sold through Gary Peer and Associates.
Of course, we wouldn't have one spare seat there, Phil. So Thomas Street was sold. It was sold for $1,699,900. That buyer...
I think they should have been more specific with the price.
They weren't paying 1.7.
No chance on that. Do you know what? A really good negotiator like me, Gary, would have got the extra $9.
No, 100. It was extra $100. $1,699,900. You would have thrown it in...
No, 99. I would have got the extra 99.
Oh, so you could have made 1,699,999.
Yeah.
Because that's more fun to work out the deposit and balance of that, isn't it?
Remember when I sold a property in the city where I was auctioning on behalf of CBRE, where we sold the property for $8,888,888.
That's right.
And
it was featured in the paper.
I went viral.
You did go viral
on news stations
wasn't
around
that about
China.
That you ate? Oh.
No, true. They ended up being that was played on a news station in China.
Really?
So only 1.5 billion people
got to see it.
You know what? Next time I fly to Shanghai, Gary, can you imagine? It's going to be like pandemonium.
It's going to be crazy. Like when the Beatles toured Melbourne, wasn't it, all those years ago? Philip Argyle Street, Simon Radolnik sold that one, $587,000. And I've got to say, Mervyn Street, I came along to Mervyn in the rain.
Are you going to say Mervyn the way you
Mervyn, how are you? That's because South Africans, though. That's a good Mervyn name for South African name, Mervyn. And I can't believe it, Mervyn.
As a shout out with warmth and tenderness and kindness to our South African clients. Speaking of South African clients, Gary, I'm going to show this up on screen. Glenn Bricker, bless his heart, who likes a drop of whiskey
he doesn't mind one,
has...
Well, they name whiskey after him. They've got Glen Moranchi, Glenn Bricker. They've got all the Glen whiskies.
This is all unscripted. That was so quick.
Of course.
You that was rehearsed. It's not. But Glenn Bricker, I think, is starting a whiskey club at our NRC, which is our new residential collections. And here's a quick photo of them all enjoying their whiskey around our bar. We might actually, I think this has got legs, Gary, where we might start a Friday afternoon whiskey drinks at our new residential collections.
Well, I think
viewers, stay tuned.
Well, I think while the
we might not do it either.
I think while the market's good, Philip, things are selling, it's fine, but the volume continues. We'll be looking for other avenues. So can we make that a bit of a bar?
It'll be a paid entry.
Of course it will. Phil,
whiskey and herring.
Whiskey and herring, my favourite. 611 Payne Street, Philip. Green Gables is the name of that complex.
Talked about that on the show before.
But we didn't talk about the sale price, Philip. It is not undisclosed, sold for $864,000. And Leo Samuel did the auction.
Do you remember what we first sold them for?
I'm trying to think. You're going to ask me that. 300, 250,
so we'll flash up on screen because we don't know the answer, but we will flash it up on screen.
Green Gables.
We'll tell you what date we sold them and for what price.
Hey, by the way, talking about Green Gables and that being down the race course road, race on Saturday, Order of Command is running. I didn't
tip it last time. Or
no,
your
this
horse?
is my Order of Command runs on Saturday at Caulfield. I think it wins, Phil.
Are you tipping it on the show?
I'm tipping on the show to win.
Viewers,
on Saturday.
Don't put your house on it.
No, don't put your house on it, but just maybe an investment property. But no, don't put much on it. But I think it'll win this Saturday at Caulfield.
And is it the favourite?
Probably will be the favourite.
Right.
Second last time, I was silent, but I'm not going to be silent this time because I tipped it once before on the show and it won, but we don't cover any losses.
And how many winners have you had across your career?
About 27, I think, Phil.
Serious?
Yeah, got 27 photos in the study,
You've had 27 wins?
Yeah, not from that horse, but overall.
No, but 27 across your career. Yeah. Have you ever had a Group 1 race?
No, I haven't. I have. I've had one run a group race.
How did it go?
Came fourth, Phil.
So
like Moses.
You've had 27 wins from your horses in Traralgon, in Maui, in Ararat, in Cootamundra.
When you go to Ararat on a Friday.
But you've not had one race that won in the city.
Oh, I have, of course. We're talking about one on the Carnival.
Was it a Group 1 race?
Command. No, it wasn't a Group 1 race. Okay. There's only so many. It's a long way from that.
If you're going to, and I want you to say the name because I love it when you say the name. What? If you're going to compete with the Sheik.
Yeah, she come down bin Rashid Al Maktoum. Or she. Go on.
Say it once more.
She come down bin Rashid Al Maktoum. Yeah.
I bet you were the guy.
There's another Sheik too.
Remember when McDonald's had that?
Tall beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. Are you talking about? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah.
This is why I still love my job because I get to work with an idiot 24/7.
How many hamburgers that got me? Tall beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. No, that got me a lot of burgers.
Viewers, you've got to be over the age of about 45 to get this joke.
Yeah, well, there was a commercial, and if you said those words in McDonald's, you got a free Big Mac. Yeah. But you had to say it very quickly, Philip. That's why I did it. And I tell you what, I put on a few kilos on those years too. I don't mind saying.
Gary used to be this skinny thing until that
promotion. Oh, boy, did it do something for my weight. Anyway, look, we're not going to go through any more of the options.
Keep going.
We sold. Look, should we talk about where we are? Because we're all sorts. We're out of order. Hey, talk about what's your beef.
Oh yes, now how's this? Don't show it yet. This is what a cutting-edge show GPTV is, where we have an idea, and the mainstream media picks it up.
And that's my beef this week, Phil.
That's your beef. That mainstream media is picking up
GPTV ideas.
They're ripping us off, and we're not getting paid for it, are we?
No royalties.
No royalty stream.
Patent everything.
Tell me what your beef is, Gary.
My beef is this, Phil. My beef is at The Age. I've said, watch your beef, Australia, because they've been watching this show with our new Watch Your Beef section.
2 weeks after we brought in Watch Your Beef, front cover of The Age.
It's unbelievable. You can't do anything, can you? Oh boy, I don't know. Anyway, Phil, what can we do?
What else have we got to talk about?
Imitation's the greatest form of flattery, isn't it?
That's what they say.
Phil, let's talk about where we are here in Orrong Crescent, because this is the most phenomenal house. Now, we've had a few articles, and we'll show them up on the screen while we're talking about the actual vendor and the property. We're sitting here in Orrong Crescent. We're looking at a zebra over here, Phil, in the hallway.
I'm going to tell you, viewers,
we've got an elephant over there.
You want a great house, a great price for your house. You've got to have half a zebra.
Exactly right.
You need half a zebra here.
And the front end, not the back end, by the way. Hey, maybe, do you think the back end's at the back of the...
That's what I was about to say. Do you think that the rest of the zebra is in somebody on the other side of the wall?
I'm thinking maybe we look around there on the meals area, the zebra might be on the other side of the wall.
Let's talk about this house. Orrong Crescent, firstly, is an incredible address because we're far north Caulfield almost. We're almost Armadale or Malvern. So great location here, beautiful street, beautiful winding, curving street, Gary. And this house,
it's a boulevard.
This house was built by an Italian family for themselves.
Is that right?
And I say that because culturally, Italians love building out of solid brick and concrete.
Of course.
This is one of the best built homes you will ever see because it's solid brick with a concrete slab at first level.
And if you mess with them, you'll be in the concrete.
No, Gary, that's a stereotype we don't need to go through. But this is the most beautiful home, and it's been reinterpreted by the current owners who've kept the zany kind of 1970s appeal here, but they've reinterpreted by adding their own style to it. One of the bathrooms is their pride and glory, and actually was featured in a magazine. But this house is magnificent. One of the best features is the voids that open up between the ground and the first floor. Some of the light fittings are absolutely incredible. So this is a feast of a property, and it's priced under $3 million. And I say that because if you think about the land size and the quality of the construction...
What would it cost you to build a house like this now?
You couldn't build a house like this under $2.5 million.
No, probably not.
And if you think about it, the land's worth $2 million plus. So replacement cost here is well in excess of $4 million, and we're not looking for anywhere near that price.
No, you're not, Phil. And this is an extraordinary home. I know Arlene Joffe's been very involved with the sale, and Sally and Darren are in there as well. But the vendor also, fascinating vendors, delightful vendors, but fascinating vendors. And one of the vendor here is he's involved with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I think he's actually got the weights here that Arnold Schwarzenegger used to win one of his early, Iron Man or...
Is that right?
And he's involved. He's a physio to
imagine being
the
a physio to Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Exactly right.
I mean, imagine like getting Arnold to lie down on the bench.
Are you comfortable, Arnold? Yeah, I'm comfortable.
And then where would you start?
Well, if you saw the size
I've got a sore
vendor,
back. I mean, can you imagine where would you start on Arnold Schwarzenegger's back?
Anyway, fascinating vendors, fascinating house, and we're very, very excited about this one, Phil. So we're looking forward to bring this one to the market.
So, viewers, action-packed Thursday edition where we will not only obviously highlight the weekend's auctions that are upcoming, but you will be able to watch the full edition to our charming, I think it was charming, interview with Tegan. She is the most... She's the
Teagues.
Teagues.
For me, it's Teagues,
we've never met her before, and she just took to the interview like a duck to water.
And you do, one of the things I love about our job is you do get to meet fascinating people, right across the board, on all different spectrums, and she's an exceptional person. You can say that. She really is an exceptional person. And I've got to tell you, Gary, I think we need more interviews.
Yeah, we do. Because we need more interviews with local people so that we can cut it in and make further additions, and then maybe finally Fox will pick us up for our own show.
Well, I'm a bit disappointed, Phil, in you this week because I went and got a haircut and I thought you might have actually mentioned it because you've been giving me a hard time. And you know what they say, sticks and stones will break my bones, but names will make me go and get a haircut.
Do you know what I'm missing about... So now that you've had the haircut, because obviously they've cleaned you up, do you know what I'm missing the most when I look at you? I'm missing all of your nasal hair and all of the hair that was coming out your ears.
They're special, aren't they? I'll leave them in for you next time, Phil, for sure.
Do you know what, last week when I was sitting here, I thought I was actually sitting in a nursing home when I was, looking at you.
That's just because you put me to sleep properly, Phil. It was getting pretty boring. Look, you're in Bali having a great time. I'm working right at the moment, so don't give me a hard time about it. That's a big wrap on GPTV. I'm hoping you're having a wonderful holiday over there.
Gary.
Stay in touch, and we'll look forward to bringing you Thursday's edition as we do the upcoming auctions, but we also interview Tegan Cunningham.
How will we be shooting Thursday's edition, Gary, if I'm in Bali?
Well, we're going to have a special via satellite.
I better take a suit to Bali.
Yes, you better take a suit to Bali. Maybe we'll just move this whole setting that we've got here into Bali for you, Philip. We look forward to bringing the news on GPTV. I'm Gary Pearce.
I'm Philip Kingston. Have a great week.